welcome back to my channel. I am so psyched for this video. I have been talking to you guys about filming this video for it seems like a month. I have been wanting to do this video because I feel like there are not a lot of them out there. At least I haven't seen a very comprehensive breakdown of what types of false lashes work for different eye shapes and a in-depth tutorial on how to apply false lashes that I've seen, but not necessarily choosing lashes for your eye shape. So I wanted to kind of combine both of those ideas into one video for you, all about false lashes, so that you are prepared and can rock some falsies on New Year's Eve or just any day, because let's be real, if I put false lashes on even with no makeup, I feel like a boss. First things first though, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And now let's get into the video. So before I show you how I apply false lashes, I do want to go over some tips and tricks I have for choosing the right lash for your eye shape. Now, little bit of a disclaimer before I go into this. I wear all different kinds of lashes, and I'll kind of talk to you about my eye shape and what I think is the best, but you can totally stray from this. This is just kind of guidelines. If you're completely new to choosing falsies and you just want a little bit of guideline as to what might look best, this is what I want to show you. But you don't have to stick to this. So I did just want to say that because you'll see me on my channel applying all different kinds of lashes, and that's totally fine, and you can do that too. But this is just giving you a little bit of guideline as to what will, I think, look best. Let me just lay out what those eye shapes are. I have this all written down because I did not want to forget. The first group is round eyes, downturned eyes, or close set eyes. I have downturned eyes. You probably can't tell maybe, or it doesn't look like it because I have winged liner on and I have lashes that are lifting my eyes up, but without any makeup on, my eyes are very downturned. Round eyes are just like what it sounds like, more rounded, and typically I don't want to say like, it's not the best eye shape. Any eye shape is fine, but like the eye shape that you see a lot of models these days is more of that almond shape. So for round eyes, downturned eyes, and even close set eyes, if you have that eye shape and you're looking to elongate your eyes, make your eyes look more sexy, the cat eye look that everybody's wearing, the best type of lashes that you could choose are the lashes I am wearing today, which are the Ardell Double Up Demi Wispies, and also another option I have for you are from Blinking Beaut, and whoa, they popped out. These are bombastic, and what you will notice with both of these pairs of lashes is that they're very small, short lashes towards the center of the eye, and then they get longer and longer and longer, and that does exactly what it sounds like it does. It extends your eyes. So think about it. If you have really close set eyes, you kind of want to even that out a little bit and make them look a little bit further away. So lashes like this that extend the eye are awesome. Also for rounded eyes that you want to make maybe a little more almond shaped, this is going to do that same thing. It's going to kind of elongate eyes. And then the third type of eye that kind of falls into this category is, like I said, the one that I have that's more downturned. This again is going to lift and elongate the eye. So if you have any three of those, round eyes, close set eyes, or downturned eyes, these types of lashes are going to work well for you. The ones that are shorter and then get longer and longer and longer. The next type of eye that I want to talk about is actually probably the most predominant eye shape, and it's the hooded eye. So that is when the brow bone and this kind of skin kind of folds down over your lid space and you can't really see lid space. I am like this close to having a hooded eye. You can just see a sliver of lid space out here on me, so I don't technically have a hooded eye, but I have character traits of a hooded eye. I'm sorry if this is confusing, but eyes are all unique and you may have different traits. So what I would recommend in terms of false lashes for hooded eyes is something pretty dramatic to get your eyes out. This also is good for deep set eyes. And what deep set eyes, very similar to hooded eyes, they're kind of just back more in the skull. And it has a similar look to hooded eyes because if this is protruding, your skin is protruding and not showing lid space, it again kind of looks like your eyes are deeper set. People with hooded and deep set eyes can really get away with super strong lashes because again, they're deep set, they're really not the focal point of the face and not the prominent facial feature because they are deep set or kind of hidden by the hood. So if you want to make your eyes stand out, I would recommend some really, really dramatic lashes. The examples I have are the House of Lashes Allura Light, and these are even the light ones and they're super dramatic. You can get the originals, but they're probably like super intense. I prefer this and I think this is dramatic enough. And then the other lash example I have is Gigi, the style Gigi from Red Aspen. And this is a lash company by a girl that is in a Facebook group that I'm a part of. Her name is Brittany Sears, along with all the other lashes that I'll link down below. I will link her Facebook page in case you're interested in looking at these. They're really, really gorgeous. The third eye type that kind of can also fall into that category is wide set eyes. Wide set eyes are going to benefit a lot from just dramatic long lashes coming straight out. If you do have very, very wide set eyes, the last thing you want to do is apply lashes like I'm wearing today that elongate the eyes even more, if that makes sense. If you're putting on the more cat lash look where it's very small in the inner tear duct area and then gets longer and longer, you're just going to make your eyes look even further wider away. So for more wide set eyes, I'd get something that's more evenly distributed, something that's going to go straight out as opposed to pulling your eyes out even further. A really good example of that is the Ardell 600 Wispies lash. These are so evenly distributed. The inner corner and outer corner are the exact same length. And so I think that these are perfect for wide set eyes because again, like I said, the last thing you want to do is elongate your eyes even more if they're already wide set and elongated. The last type of eye shape that I could think of was just a very strong, prominent eye. You may have seen people that their eyes just are super big or they're more protruding. In my opinion, if you have eyes like that that are really the focal point of your face, you really don't need false lashes. But if you did want to do false lashes and you have eyes like that, then I would just recommend maybe a few of the individual clusters on the outer edge or even the very natural looking lash band. Ardell has one called Natural that's just a very thin, light, wispy lash. That is what I recommend for people with very prominent eyes. So the lashes that I am going to be applying today on my eyes are the Ardell Double Up Demi Wispies. So I just take it out of the package here and I have found that the best way to get the lash off of the container thing here is to use tweezers. Sometimes just with your fingers being bigger and clumsier, you can pull up on the band and kind of mess up the arch of it, and you want it to have that nice arch that it comes with. So I use my tweezers. It doesn't matter what kind of tweezers you have to do this. On a side note, these Anastasia Beverly Hills tweezers are amazing. I had been tweezing my eyebrows with just a standard drugstore tweezer for the longest time, and I always thought that I was just bad at tweezing my eyebrows, but it was just that it wasn't gripping to each individual hair, and these are amazing. So side note, that has nothing to do with what we're doing today. But now the next important step is to coat your lashes with a little bit of mascara. But actually before I do that, what I do is apply the glue because we want the glue to have a little bit of time to dry. And I always like to be busy, so I don't like to be sitting here waiting for the glue to dry, so I save my mascara until after that. So let me just show you how I apply my lash glue. Today I am using the Duo glue, but I'm specifically using the pink container, which means it's the black one. So this one will dry black. I have winged liner on, so the black one is the way to go. Sometimes even the clear one or the white one that dries clear can show up a little bit, almost a skin tone look. So if you are wearing eyeliner, I suggest getting the black Duo glue. If you aren't wearing eyeliner, you can use the clear glue, and that will probably be a better choice for you. So I'm going to just zoom you in a little bit so that you can see how I apply the glue, because this is a very important step. Okay, so I just take the lash in my fingers here and I take the glue right from the bottle, but I make sure to squeeze before I just put it right on here so I can kind of see it kind of squirts out really fast. So then I just use that little bubble that got on there and I just lightly put a coat on. I do put a little bit of an extra dot at each end. I should mention also, I don't really think I have that big of eyes, but I think it's just these lashes from Ardell in particular. They're not so long that I need to cut them. Some of the lashes, like the House of Lashes that I talked about, those tend to be pretty long, so you may need to trim your lashes before applying them. Like I said though, these ones from Ardell have never been too long for me. If you do kind of measure them out and they seem super long, like the corner is going all the way in here or the edge is out, just make sure that you're cutting from the long end, the outside end, because typically lashes are made so that the inner corner is tapered in even slightly, even if it is a more even lash band. Just always cut from the outside. That will ensure that your inner corner isn't like looking super weird. Like if you were to cut the inner corner of a lash, especially like this, then it'd be super, super long right here, if that makes sense. So while this is drying, I'd say I wait about a minute. I'll just kind of take my mascara in my hand here and do a little coat of mascara. I'm using the Tarte Man Eater mascara. You can use any mascara you want to. I do find that this type of wand, that's more of the stiff little spikes, is better for applying false lashes because it gets your individual lash instead of clumping up your lashes. There's really no need to use a mascara that thickens and clumps your lashes because you're applying falsies. So using a mascara with a wand like this one that's more just for separating out the lashes and coating them is the type of mascara I recommend when wearing falsies. Once you look at the glue on the lash band, if it looks like it's a bit of a darker gray than when it started, that means that you're probably ready to put the lash on. As it dries, it gets darker and darker and it eventually dries black. So I would say right about now we are ready to go. Very important step. You should be looking down into your mirror. I learned this from Jaclyn Hill when I started watching YouTube years and years ago, and this is a very important step because when you're looking down into the mirror, you can see where your lashes start. So that allows you to get this band as close as possible to your lash line. It always looks a little bit funny and it's very obvious that you're wearing false lashes when the band is not right on your lash line. If it's like up too high, it doesn't look good. So we want to make sure that we put the band as close as possible to our lash line, and looking down into your mirror is the way to do that. I just take it in the middle with my fingers and I come up from the top and then I just go right down. I kind of even feel it with my lashes and bring them right down onto the roots of my own lashes, right into the center here. Then after the center is attached, I go to each end. I start with the outside end because it's kind of the easiest, and then I take the inner portion and kind of just pat it down and get it to initially stick. And then once it's stuck, I leave it alone for a few seconds just to let the glue dry a little bit more. And then I take my tweezers and I just push down on the whole band. I'm going to show you this eye again as well. Then what I do is I kind of really make sure that the edges, the kind of inside portion, outside portion are on. Like see, this one has already lifted. I just make sure to push that on there. And then we're done with that lash. So I'm gonna do the other side for you again so that you can see it a second time. So again, I'm just going to take this lash off with my tweezers. And see how this time I must have done it wrong. It kind of straightened out. What you can do is you really want to make sure that you keep the curve of the lash. You can kind of wiggle it curved to get it back into that shape. Then again, I take the glue and I apply that to the lash band. You want to make sure that you're applying it in a thin, even coat with a little extra dot on each corner. While that's drying in my hand here, I'm just going to take my mascara and apply a thin coat. It's important to apply at least a little bit of mascara because it makes your lashes blend in with the color of the falsies. It makes them black, like if you don't naturally have black lashes, and it also kind of helps act as a shelf. So when you are putting the falsie on, there's a little bit more structure there to hold it in place. After you feel that that has dried up enough and it's turned a little bit more of a dark gray, we can again apply. And again, I take it with my fingers in the center of the lash band. I come from up top, make sure I'm looking down into my mirror, and I just apply it to the center. Like so, let go, and then I take the outer edge first and connect, and then the inner corner and pop that on. And then I just kind of let it sit for a second because it is still a little bit wet. I don't want it sliding around. After a few seconds, it should have bonded with my skin enough where I can then push this, make sure every part is actually touching the skin. Sometimes it feels like it's touching the skin and it's really not. So you just want to make sure with your tweezers that everything is actually touching your skin, in contact with your skin, so that the glue can dry onto your skin and it will last longer. Okay, at this point then, what I would do is just let them dry for maybe another minute, let them sit on my eyes and really kind of dry down, and then I will apply another light layer of mascara. So you want to be gentle once you get to this point, but basically you're just doing a light layer to connect your real lashes with the falsies, kind of just pushing them together. And that is it. That is how I apply my false lashes. I promise you, if you practice, you will be fine at it. It is not as bad and as intimidating as it might seem. The number one, hands down, biggest piece of advice I can give you when applying false lashes is just to make sure that you apply them as close to your lash line as possible, if not on your actual lashes. That will make them look 100 times better. That's the biggest problem I see when it comes to actual application. And then also picking out the right type of lash for your eye shape. I went over that in the beginning of the video and I hope that that was helpful. Again, you don't need to stick to it 100%. I wear different lashes all the time. They're not always this kind of cat eye lash. They are my favorite kind of lash to wear, and they're the lash that I always feel the most confident in, but you can definitely stray from my sort of guidelines in terms of picking the type of lash that would be most flattering on your eye shape. That wraps up my false lash video. I hope that this was helpful. If it was, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That really helps me out, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Other than that, guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye!